From eTown Hall in the foothills of the Rocky Mountains, it's eTown with this week's guests. Originally from Vancouver, now living in Brooklyn, Taylor Ashton. Colorado Attorney General Phil Weiser. And originally from London, now living in Nashville, Robyn Hitchcock. I'm Helen Forster. Join me now in welcoming our host, Nick Forster.
Thank you, Helen. Thanks, everybody. Welcome to eTown Hall. Once again, we've got some good stuff. We've got some good music. We've got some good food for thought. We've got some things that are familiar and potentially soothing that will hopefully help you get through another day of otherwise stunning surprises. It's weird out there. We've got Taylor Ashton, wonderful singer and songwriter, originally from Vancouver, now lives in New York. He's been there actually for a number of years. Very happy to have him here. He's a great, prolific songwriter, visual artist. He's going to play some songs from his latest record and some older ones too. I mentioned that things are weird, but we thought it would be good to get a state attorney general to share his thoughts about this moment and what we can do. So we're lucky to have the Colorado Attorney General, Phil Weiser. He is here. We look forward to hearing what he has to say. And up first, a proud product of an amazing scene that he was launched into as a teenager, a scene that in his view defined him, a scene that included a very traditional boys' boarding school that he went to when he was 12 years old, a London music scene in the late 60s that he kind of launched himself into, and of course, he became a prolific songwriter and singer in that whole scene. He was in the band The Soft Boys, and then he had his band The Egyptians, and now he's an author, and continues to be a constantly touring troubadour. And all of that is informed by and a product of his upbringing that he's happy to talk about because it's in his new book, which we'll talk about later on. But he's a creative guy, and he has always had this unique voice and a substantial and slightly surreal creative output. We are very happy to have him back at eTown. Please welcome, if you would, Robyn Hitchcock.
Hello, this was a hit on the wireless centuries ago. It's set back in the television era, which you may remember. It's a folk song. I was walking up 6th Avenue when Balloon Man came right up to me. He was round and fat and spherical with the biggest grin I'd ever seen. He lumbered up toward me, but before we could be introduced, he blew up very suddenly. I guess his name was probably Bruce. So I laughed like I always do, and I cried like I cried for you. And Balloon Man blew up in my hand. He spattered me with tomatoes, hummus, chickpeas, and some strips of skin. So I made a right on 44th, and I washed my hands when I got in. And it rained like a slow divorce, and I wished I could ride your horse. And Balloon Man blew up in my hand. I was walking up 6th Avenue and Balloon Man blew up in my face. There were loads of them on Bryant Park, so I didn't feel out of place. must have been a plague of them on the TV when I came home late. They were guzzling marshmallows and then jumping off the Empire State. So I laughed like I always do, and I cried like I cried for you. And Balloon Man blew up in my hand. Yeah, Balloon Man blew up in my hand. Thank you. Thanks very much, and I'd like to welcome up Emma Swift to join me on harmony on this next number.
Hello.
Blinking on and off, it's the queen of eyes, with a carapace shell and her black lace thighs. I don't know why she never gets anywhere with you. Mucky the pig is out on a limb. He's looking for someone to investigate him. I don't know why he never gets anywhere with you. Here I am again, it's no surprise. I'm locked in orbit round the queen of eyes. All I ever got from her was lies. In this horrible age of abuse and decay, it's good to know that somebody's looking okay. I don't know why she never gets anywhere with you. Blinking on and off, it's the queen of eyes, with a carapace shell and her black lace thighs. I don't know why she never gets anywhere. I don't know why she never gets anywhere. I don't know why she never gets anywhere with you. Thank you.
Robyn Hitchcock, welcome back to eTown. I have to start by apologizing because, not that it was our fault, but back in 2020, your show was the one that we canceled because they asked us to close our doors right as the pandemic was unfolding.
We got as far as Denver, and you sent me a text saying it's all over.
Yeah. But think now, we've had a chance for both of us to get a little bit older and more things to talk about, less things to remember, perhaps.
Well, there's more things in theory to remember, but the chances are we don't remember them.
Yeah. But you do have a book that you didn't used to have.
I have a book that I didn't used to have about time that I'd already lived through. Yeah. The 1967 book.
Yeah, which I really enjoyed.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a good read. It's candid. It's an inside look into boarding school life that not many people get to know about. I went to a boys' boarding school the year after in '68, and my situation was not nearly as nice as yours because you had a common room with a record player. And the record player, at least according to your book, made all the difference for you. It actually, completely changed your life.
It did. It replaced my parents, and I became this.
Yeah. Amazing. And then, with some other sprinkles of influences like the incredible string band and Pink Floyd and the Byrds and, not so much the Beach Boys, but the Beatles, certainly.
Yeah, a lot of people began with B in those days. It seemed like a conspiracy almost, really. Yeah. But it was just a good time to be listening to music, and I happened to listen to it in this very weird, rarefied environment, a sort of kind of homoerotic crucible for wealthy eccentrics. But, I myself was never flailed or anything, As I say in the book, I got off fairly lightly. I was in a little enclave of liberals, not unlike here.
But you did also create those sort of natural divisions where there were the groovers, of which you were an aspirational groover.
I was a groover in training, yeah.
And then there were the others who were sort of...
meatheads.
The meatheads, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, unfortunately, that's pretty much the same here now, isn't it?
Yeah.
The righteous are the groovers and the meatheads are the other side.
Yeah.
I think society always seems to divide into those two types, the kind of macho Neanderthals and the sensitive people who like to sit and inhale rose leaves. To which group I belong, obviously.
Yeah, but I will say that at least in your case, you were able to share the music with the meatheads.
Well, it was an interesting time because it's one of those lovely points when the barriers appear to come down.
Yeah.
Again, the opposite of now. And so there was a point, the meatheads used to listen to the Beach Boys. Not that Brian Wilson was a macho dude, but some of those people, the jocks and that. And then Brian Wilson started coming up with stuff like Good Vibrations.
Right.
And we groovers had to rethink our prejudices.
Yeah.
And everybody listened to the Beatles, and the Beatles just got more and more interesting.
Yeah.
Even the Queen, not that she actually came into our school, but she remarked to the head of EMI, the Beatles have got awfully funny lately, haven't they? Apparently.
Yeah.
So, everywhere the Beatles was the common ground, and then, the groovers listened to Dylan, and then Dylan started having pop hits,
Yeah.
So all the meatheads were buying Blonde on Blonde, and we were grooving to Good Vibrations, and that was 1967, It was the pit of all souls.
Well, it's a great read, and it's a great story just to get to sort of have that inside perspective about that moment in time and being launched into the London musical world, which you don't really dive into as much because it's a time capsule in a way. But I do want to ask you about, because it was this sort of well-known traditional boys' boarding school, did your language and your education and your demeanor give you away when you're trying to be like a hip folk musician?
Oh, yeah, but I didn't actually get into the London music scene until that's in the next book.
Yeah.
I went to a poster shop, the first psychedelic shop in London, but that was entirely populated by groovers.
Yeah.
And they bypassed the whole class system in word, in tone of voice, because everybody just spoke like that. It was really it was what I called the subsonic, it was all right, man, That didn't last very long because people got noisy again in the 70s with the rise of alcohol.
Right.
So they're all like that. Yeah, what you want then? Couple of halves, eh? Right. Whatever. So, and then by the time I got to the London music scene in 77, 78, I'd had to launder my posh voice.
Yeah.
I barely had time to develop one, and I had to get rid of it again.
Yeah.
So. But there were a couple of years when I did sort of speak like this, if that's what you're referring to.
That's what I was referring to.
But then we ran into the mumble, and I came out of the mumble sounding like I do now.
Yeah.
The main thing is that I sound British because I'm obviously now a professional, expat.
Yeah.
So I'm a Hollywood Englishman, except I'm actually based in Nashville.
Yeah.
So my role is simply to be a Brit,
Yeah. Well, you do it so well.
Thank you.
Well, listen, I just think that it's great that you, as a character, have found a path, and you've stuck to it, and you've been very productive. You keep playing shows, and you keep making records and recording and touring, and it's not easy to do, and it's not an easy career path to age into, and yet here you are, and you're doing it, and I appreciate it.
Well, thanks very much, Nick.
Yeah.
I really appreciate the fact that people have stuck around and been prepared to see it the way I see it.
Yeah, we need you. We need you.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, we're here to hear more music. Let's welcome back to the stage Robyn Hitchcock.
okay. Seems like you were in a glass hotel. It seems like there was someone else as well. It seems like everything was going well. It seems like you were up there in your glass hotel. It seems oh, the radio was playing in the darkness of the hall. There was someone standing with you who just wasn't there at all, and you were laughing. Oh, telephone was ringing in a corridor of blue. A geranium came out of it, reminded me of you, and I was crying. Seems like you were in a glass hotel. It seems like there was someone else as well. It seems like a dream. Oh, there's nothing in the future, there's nothing in the past. There is only this one moment, and you gotta make it last. And you were laughing in a glass hotel.
That's Robyn Hitchcock, along with Emma Swift. Nashville, Tennessee, originally from England. They will be back to play some more music later on in the show.
Your visit to eTown is made possible in part by the Scientific and Cultural Facilities District, or SCFD, one of the largest cultural funding mechanisms in the United States, supporting nearly 300 organizations in the greater Denver, Colorado area. By the way, if you enjoy watching live music videos, as I do, there are over 3,000 videos of the show on the eTown YouTube channel, where you can subscribe and stay up to date with our past and latest video offerings. You're listening to eTown.
I'm Nick Forster. You are listening to eTown. Robyn Hitchcock is going to be back, play some more music later on in the program. And we've got a wonderful singer-songwriter originally from Vancouver. Taylor Ashton is with us. Some of you know that Helen was born and raised in Minneapolis, immigrant parents, and she went to high school and college at the University of Minnesota. We have a bunch of friends up there, and I played up there a lot. So it's been on our mind, that community. I heard a recent interview with the mayor of Minneapolis, Jacob Fry, and he had a clear set of suggestions and objectives to try to navigate this tough moment for his city. And, there's a lot of the overarching goals that he agrees with in terms of making his city safer and complying with requests for securing borders and detaining illegal immigrants who are making trouble. But there's so much that is troubling in his city that have to do with things like court orders being ignored and citizens being arrested and violence on the streets. He's speaking out, and he's speaking out to other mayors and other governments around the country. So I thought it would be good for us to learn more about a more local perspective of those same issues. And so no one better really than an attorney general who has to deal with the rule of law in the state of Colorado. So we are lucky to be able to have that conversation with our attorney general. Please welcome, if you would, Colorado's Attorney General Phil Weiser. Phil, welcome to eTown.
It's so great to be here.
Good to see you.
Long-time listener, first-time guest.
Yeah. Your backstory is great. If you don't mind just sharing a little bit about your family's sort of origin story.
You talked about Helen is a first-generation American. I am a first-generation American. My mom and my grandmother survived the Holocaust and were liberated by U.S. Army soldiers. My grandmother was an incredibly resilient woman. She lived to 102, had a great recipe for rugelach that we've promoted. She wanted to come to the United States of America because she believed this was the land of freedom and opportunity. She didn't speak the language. They didn't have any money or marketable skills. But my grandparents both came here with my mom, built a new life. And in my family, the difference between my mom being born in that camp, me sitting here with you, having become a lawyer, clerk for Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg on the U.S. Supreme Court, worked as an advisor to President Barack Obama in the White House, and Colorado's Attorney General.
Yeah.
That's one generation. That's what America's about.
Yeah. I mentioned the interview that I heard from the mayor of Minneapolis and his views about all the things that are happening there. And amongst all the things, some of which are horrific, the thing that seemed to worry him the most was the erosion of the rule of law, and that there are court orders that are being ignored, over 100 of them. What is a court order? Maybe you can just start there.
When you talk about the rule of law, I know for some people who are non-lawyers, this sounds like it's an arcane term, but it basically means that everybody plays by the rules. Everybody is treated fairly. That includes the president. That includes government agencies. One core principle of the rule of law, which is one being violated, is called due process of law. That means whoever you are, and the 14th Amendment is really clear on this, Nick. It says all persons are entitled to due process, which means you can't have ICE or any other group picking somebody up and seeking to deport them to another nation without giving them a fair hearing and opportunity to be heard.
Yeah. So but it also sort of sounds like what you're saying is democracy and the rule of law is predicated on just an understanding, an agreement, and it seems to be fungible. So when these things aren't working out, and maybe the Justice Department isn't even a recourse at this point, what's the deal?
This administration, unlike any other administration, including the first Trump administration, isn't asking the question, is this legal? They're just going ahead and doing things, saying, in effect, well, if the courts figure it out later. That puts pressure on me as an attorney general to protect Colorado and to defend the rule of law.
Yeah.
It would help if Congress was doing its job.
Yeah.
You mentioned before about court orders not being followed. One of the big questions will be, as cases move up the system and are decided, will this administration follow them? In the cases that I've had that have gotten preliminary decisions or even that the administration has accepted, we are getting the money, for example, that we're entitled to. We shouldn't have to be bringing these cases, but we are getting that money. Colorado has now close to $1 billion that we only have because we took action and went to court.
Yeah, that's cool. I know that this is your world. This is the world you live in every single day. There are other things arresting journalists, the Justice Department going after the mayor and the governor of Minnesota.
The New York Attorney General, the former head of the FBI.
Yeah. So when you think about the state of Colorado and you see this as potentially unfolding here, are you looking for other ways to protect the citizens of Colorado from this kind of abuse?
Well, the first thing I will say is I will put myself out there. This operation isn't really about immigration enforcement, it's about intimidation. And what I will say for Colorado, we're not going to be intimidated. We're going to stand strong, protect what's right. That's how we hold the republic.
Yeah. So quickly, in just the few minutes we have left, I just want to know if there's other stuff we can do as citizens, because I think there are a lot of people who feel powerless, feel helpless or scared. Is there stuff we can do?
Part of how we feel more positive is doing work in community. Think about what you can do in your community, helping young people who are hurting, addressing challenges like our opioid crisis, or how many people are struggling financially or with their health. Please lean into what is good, draw strength from it, and continue to be part of this great community.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Phil. I appreciate it. Good luck. Colorado State Attorney General Phil Weiser.
Thank you all. Thank you, Nick.
You are listening to eTown. Thanks to Phil Weiser for being here. I also want to mention that Robyn Hitchcock is going to be back to play some more music. Some stuff with the house band we're pretty excited about. Up next, Taylor Ashton. He's from Vancouver originally. That's up in Canada. Our neighbors to the north. He was raised mostly by his dad. He played music as a teenager, and then he got in a band and started touring all over the place. He moved around some and landed in New York City, where he fell into a kind of a cool scene. He was playing clawhammer banjo in the subways and lives in Brooklyn. He made a bunch of friends. He actually met a Colorado transplant who was there named Courtney Hartman. They made a record together, and he has made a bunch of records since then. Gotten married, had a kid, he's settled in. He's a prolific songwriter. He's also a visual artist, an illustrator, a very creative character. We're so happy to have him with us. Please help me welcome for his first visit to eTown, Taylor Ashton.
Hi, everybody. This first song is one that I wrote in France. I wrote this the day that I got the call. I had gone to France to go on a songwriting retreat at a friend's house, and I got a call on one of the days from my wife, and she let me know that we were gonna be having a baby. And so this is the song that I wrote that day. This is called Kinda Bitter. Kept her eyes peeled and her ears pierced and her hair cut short and her eyebrows fierce. She was a mind reader and a full moon bleeder, and she kept insisting I didn't need her. She said, careful what you sing about. Your body listens to your mouth, and there's more to life than being right. There's more to love than being liked. It's kinda bitter, not that sweet, but I'm not trying to rot my teeth. And no one said this life was easy. And then the storm rolled in, and the crowds all went, and we crowded under a kitchen tent. And then a lightning bolt cut the sky undone. I said a little love never hurt no one. And you have got so much to prove. There's too much at stake in every move. But I have learned so much from you. Sometimes I wish you'd listen to yourself too. Oh, it's kinda bitter, not that sweet. But I'm not trying to rot my teeth. And no one said this life was easy. I've got broken dreams, I've got abandoned goals, I've got a tattered t-shirt that's full of holes. And I love that part in your little note when you said life is a windy road. And it was weeks before I realized that's not what you meant to write. Oh, but I think about it every day when I feel like I might blow away. It's kinda bitter, not that sweet. But I'm not trying to rot my teeth. And no one said this life was easy. Yeah, it's kinda bitter, not that sweet. But I'm not trying to rot my teeth. And no one said this life was easy. It's kinda bitter, not that sweet. But I'm not trying to rot my teeth. And no one said this life was easy. 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 You want to sing that with us? No one said this life was easy. Thank you so much. Like I was watching it in a movie, and I had just landed in Berlin. And it's crazy now remembering how I tried so hard just to feel something. But your kisses blew right through me. I felt like I was watching it in a movie. Going crazy, and your kisses blew right through me, and it felt like something from a movie. Your kisses blew right through me, and it felt like something
Taylor Ashton, welcome.
What a pleasure to be here.
We've been around each other a little bit over the years, and it's good to connect. I mentioned that you grew up in Vancouver.
Vancouver, British
and
Columbia.
Mostly raised by your dad, who's also musical.
That's definitely where I got it from.
And then before you started like playing guitar, I know you were drawing. You were always making visual things with pens and cartoons and other things.
Yeah, we, we'd be out with his friends and they'd be talking about grown-up stuff, and I was just making cartoons on napkins and things like that.
Yeah. Anyway, you found your way. You were in a band, of course, and that band, Fish and Bird, did well, played a bunch of gigs, festivals, traveled around in Canada.
We toured across Canada so many times. We made like 4 albums, and it's this really stupid commute because
it's big.
Canada itself is famously a large landmass, but if you're routing a tour and it's like, well, the Saskatoon gig wants to, can you switch it with the Calgary gig? And it's no, definitely not.
Yeah.
So
You could almost do it by train.
I actually traveled across Canada by train a lot of times.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful way to do it.
I hitchhiked on the Trans-Canada Highway from Halifax to Montreal, which took me up through Rivière-du-Loup and that direction. But it was, at one point, it turned into a dirt road. But it's the Trans-Canada Highway. And this is like, and there's nobody here, and there's no cars.
Right.
And it was December. It was so stupid.
Wow. Yeah.
But they were nice to musicians in Canada, I recall.
Yeah.
And you found your way to New York, and I mentioned you ran into our former neighbor, Coloradoan Courtney Hartman.
Yes, I met Courtney in New York.
You guys made a record.
Yeah.
And tell me, now, at some point you were playing some shows in like elder care facilities. Was that by yourself or with your other musicians, or was that with Courtney?
That was with Courtney.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was an initiative that's somehow connected with the music district in Fort Collins. They were wanting to help people tour in a way where there was activity on the tour that was community service. And in exchange, they gave us a lot of support on the tour.
Nice.
I loved it so much.
Really? Were you taking requests?
Yeah, a lot of people wanted to hear Bicycle Built for Two. Just like, it was just amazing the way that their eyes would light up and they would sing along. And
Yeah. Many studies have shown that there is a neurocognitive process that music unlocks for a lot of people who are in elder care facilities.
Yeah.
A song evokes memories and actually makes nonverbal people verbal, and it can be profound.
Yeah. When I was living in Toronto, I was taking care of somebody who was severely, physically and mentally disabled. He was a really, really sweet guy. He's passed away since, sadly, but he was, in a wheelchair, and his speech was very slow. He could put together a coherent sentence. It would just take a long time. But you'd put on Phil Collins, and he would just sing along completely in rhythm, and it was just, I would just be, in tears. He was a great singer. But
Well,
yeah.
it's cool to think about music as a community service and to actually get away from commerce for a minute and just say, we're going to just make music for people who wouldn't otherwise get to go to a show or hear us. And it does, I'm sure, infuse a little more humanity into your touring schedule.
For sure.
I made the mistake as a teenager of trying to do square dances in elder care facilities, and that was a very bad idea. You mentioned your wife and the sweet song you wrote. Your wife, Rachel, is somebody who's been on eTown a few times over the years, from Lake Street Dive and also with Bill Ray. How are you navigating the touring, family life with, you've got a kid now who's almost 3, or?
Yeah. We're sort of like taking it like a day and a month and a kind of a year at a time. And
Your agents dislike each other?
as far as I've witnessed, like everyone on the business end of things has been very like supportive. I mean, it's very gauche these days not to be, so.
Well, cool. Good
Yeah.
luck with all that stuff. And
Yeah.
Your last record, I know, was a sort of a travel odyssey, recorded in a bunch of different places.
Yep.
And you got a new record percolating.
Yes, I have a new record. It's finished, and my current release strategy is I'm just sending people the private SoundCloud link. That's dangerously close to feeling like enough for me, but I will release it properly.
Cool. Well, listen, let's hear some more music. I'm just glad you're here. It's great. Like I said, we've crossed paths, and let's hear some more music.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, Taylor Ashton, welcome back.
All right. How about this band? Some memories live in your spine. Some moments come unstuck in time. I see a buzzing neon sign, the color of honey. I could just make out your silhouette. You know I'll take what I can get. I took a drag from your cigarette and tasted honey. So buzz me up or come on down. Come to the door in your dressing gown. I don't mind you messing around, honey. I said I'm downstairs, honey, let me in. Let me clean off that comb again. Feels like I'm sinking in, honey. Destined to toil and then return back to the soil. 'Cause everything must someday spoil, except for honey. And I heard that when they got inside, they found it there by his side, fresh as the day the Pharaoh died. A jar of honey. So buzz me up or come on down. Come to the door in your dressing gown. I don't mind you messing around, honey. I said I'm downstairs, honey, let me in. Let me clean off that comb again. Feels like I'm sinking in, honey. Some things are better left unsung, to burn a hole in your tongue. I'm not afraid of getting stung, honey. So
buzz me up, come on down. Come to the door in your dressing gown. I don't mind you messing around, honey. Said I'm downstairs, honey, let me in. Let me clean off that comb again. Feels like I'm sinking in, honey. Feels like I'm sinking in, honey.
I think I'm sinking in, honey.
Thank you. That's Taylor Ashton, Brooklyn, New York, along with Emma Rose and Shiloh Gold singing backup. And the Etos, Christian Teal, Zach Jackson, Adam Bodine, Helen singing harmony, Taylor Ashton. Great songs.
Your visit to eTown is made possible with support from the Sage Foundation, the Cielo Foundation, the Scintilla Foundation, the City of Boulder's Office of Arts and Culture, and our members, our citizens, and listeners like you. You're listening to eTown.
I'm Nick Forster. I'd like to say hello to our listeners who are hearing eTown right now on stations like WNYE 91.5 FM in New York City, on WMOT in Murfreesboro, Nashville, Tennessee, and on KXT in Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. Thanks for listening. As always, if you'd like some more information about eTown, you want to figure out how to get tickets to a live show, you want to see exactly just how sparkly Taylor Ashton was, all of that stuff is online at etown.org. We have a bunch of social media channels you can check out. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel and see all those videos and more. All that stuff is available, so go there if you are so inclined. Well, we were talking about all the various scenes, like the scene that Robyn Hitchcock grew up in the late 60s in around London, and of course, the scene in Vancouver and New York that Taylor Ashton, and the scene in Minneapolis and the scene here in Colorado. We are products of our environment, and I also believe we can rise to the occasion and be kind and affect change and look out for each other. We can do that stuff without violence, respect for other cultures. We can do all that stuff. I think we can do it. And music can help. Good songs can help bring us together. With that in mind, please welcome back Robyn Hitchcock.
I can't really describe my songs except by saying that they're what they're about. Anything I could say about this song would be misleading. Would take you off on a false path.
You think I'm a thug? I hear you thinking I'm a thug, sentimental like a thug. Well, I like the physique, but yes, sir, it's a brutal try. We dive for pearls in the train and hold dying competitions. Who can squirt blood furthest into the mouths of our cannibal overlords? I want to tell you about what I want. You think I'm ungenerous? Really? In what way? The more you give someone, the more they want from you. Rubbishing people is fun. It's second to none in the joy that it brings to the self-righteous mind. Is my head on straight, baby? I so hope. Yep. I want to tell you about what I want. I want to tell you about what I want. I want world peace, gentle socialismo, no machismo. And the only God should be the God of L-O-V-E. I want a non-invasive kind of telepathy that lets you feel what it's like to be somebody else. Feel what it's like when you're somebody else. I want to tell you about what I want. I want to tell you about what I want. We're replacing ourselves with the iPhone 17, and that could be our legacy before the feline dynasty scampers over history. Skiddly bop, skiddly bop, skiddly bop, and the sheets count up to heaven 24/7. But 8 billion zeros is still zero if you got no heart.
This is the first single off my fab new album, which is coming out on Tiny Ghost Records. If there is a future, this album will come out in it relatively soon. And the first single is this one. It doesn't sound exactly like this, but that would be very weird if it did, because that would mean we would be recording it right now. What would happen if you were recorded all the time? What would happen if you didn't ever forget anything? If your memories were just full, your thoughts like little ants scampering around the synapses, tossing little lumps of sugar across the rivulets of the brain. Oh boy, better forget that one fast. Okay, we're gonna... But don't worry, we're going to use conventional means. Oh, yes. We're going to come in at the beginning. Thank you.
Robyn Hitchcock, along with the eTones, Emma Swift. We've got time for one more song. I want to thank everybody for being a part of this show. Special thanks to our Attorney General, Phil Weiser, for being on the program. Thanks to Phil for coming by. Thanks to Taylor Ashton, and coming from Brooklyn. Thanks to Robyn Hitchcock and Emma Swift. We're going to do one more song, and again, we've been talking about all kinds of stuff, getting along, helping each other, being kind. Here's a song about that. I'm Nick Forster. Hope you can be with us next week, right here in eTown.
What would you think if I sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on me? Lend me your ears and I'll sing you a song and I'll try not to sing out of key. Oh, I'll get by with a little help from my friends. I'll get high with a little help from my friends. Oh, I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends.
What do I do when my love is away?
Does it worry you to be alone?
How do I feel at the end of the day?
Are you sad because you're on your own?
No, I get by with a little help from my friends. I get high with a little help from my friends. Gonna try with a little help from my friends.
Do you need anybody?
I just need someone to love.
Could it be anybody?
I want somebody to love.
Would you believe in a love at first sight?
Yes, I'm certain that it happens all the time.
What do you see when you turn out the light?
I can't tell you, but I know it's mine. Oh, I get by with a little help from my friends. Yes, I get by with a little help from my friends.
Get high with a little help from my friends.
Yes, I get by with a little help from my friends. With a little help from my
This is a production of eTown.